Testing, testing.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, for round 6 of the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series. Back at a very familiar venue, one that we saw plenty of on Sunday night and Friday night as well, in the Australia-New Zealand Endurance Series, 4 hours of Kyalami. We're back once again, and we are looking at our championship leader, Johnny Sinekis, the South African there, running slightly wide as we are a couple of minutes into qualifying, and then we've got a 60-minute race to decide the championship for this GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series round 6. Final round of the championship here tonight. We're going to take a look at the championship boards. There they are on your screen, and have a look how tight it is at the top. Johnny Sinekis on 320 points, Tom Maloney on 319, and then it's Matthew Spinazzi on 309, 290 for Robbie Mannix, Jerry Zeri on 278, M Glow on 275, Cooley Mango on 273, and the rest of them there down to Lee Perkins on 170. And everybody else, but it's going to be heating up here for the championship finale as I get rid of those off your screen. But we welcome Sal Ragas, Ricardo. Let us know how you got on at Zandvoort. That place was going off. Andre Ria doing the national anthem, the Dutch national anthem. That place was pumping on Sunday. What a race it was too. And no surprises there. Max winning in the end as I welcome a very familiar face, a very familiar voice, in fact, the man from Carrum Downs, who didn't quite get the result he was after on Sunday night, but he's been good enough to give us some time here in the commentary box for this championship finale, and it's good to have you on PC in some shape or form. Jason Wilkinson, good evening to you.
Good evening, good evening, hello, yes. So the only PC I've got at the moment is my phone watching PC stream. That's the only PC knowledge I've got at the moment. So yeah, I had a bit of an interesting race on Sunday at this track. As much as I love it, I'm happy to not be racing tonight. I mean, obviously I would be if I was on PC. I would love to be racing on PC, but yeah, so here we are tonight. Look at this Audi here at his home track. Beautiful matte black Audi, looks absolutely amazing. But yeah, so it should be a good night. Here to just help out and try and get these last few donations through. We had a big day on Sunday, so up to $1,900 I think I saw. So that's that's amazing. And credit to Voodoo and all his hard work. So yeah, let's try and get that over that $2,000 tonight.
And great segue. Thank you, Wilco. We'll get back to you very shortly, but you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, we have raised $1,900 out of our target for this charity month. Of course, helping with mental health, supporting LifeLine, I should say, in both mental health and suicide prevention And we are so close to our goal. And if you're out there watching, please, every dollar counts. And we might even be giving away, well, we will be giving away some prizes and other special things throughout the course of the evening. So stay tuned for that. And yes! And Luke S2R. And right up there in the top three, of course, with the donations and the subs. He's just subscribed saying, let's go Trev and Voodoo. Great to have Luke on board here tonight. And we're just saying, Luke, we're $100 away from our goal of $2,000 there, as you can see in the top right-hand corner of your screen. We're going to be keeping an eye on that throughout the course of the evening, as we'll just get back to that very shortly. But let's have a look at qualifying here. We've had two 20-minute practice sessions, now in, well, halfway almost through this 15-minute qualifying session, which will decide the grid for the 60-minute race, the championship finale, round 6 of 6 here tonight from Kyalami in South Africa. Baseline ambient temperature of 22 degrees. And one compulsory pit stop, minimum of 1 litre of fuel, no pit stop window, and a short formation lap. And the race will be 6 p.m. on a Sunday. That is a virtual race time. As speaking of times, there's our pole position man, Chris Cooley, or Coolie Mango, as he is more affectionately known here at the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series. He's got some traffic, and let's see where that's going to put him. He's 2/10 up on this lap. And I think he might have lost some time here coming through this part of the lap. In fact, he's coming back into the pits, I do believe. But he's currently sitting there on pole position by just less than 1/10 of a second there with a 1:40.630. And then it's Johnny Sinekis, our championship leader, on a 40.727. And these times, Jason Wilkinson, of course, coming from the console on Sunday in the 4-hour race. They're a little bit quicker, aren't they, on the PC compared to the console. A 1:40.6, very impressive around here.
Yeah, no, definitely a bit quicker. Obviously, a little bit cooler track temp here tonight, but obviously, the class of a PC driver compared to us console plebs, there's always going to be a bit better. I think Twitchy was on for a 1:40.8 was the fastest I've seen in PS5 side. 4-hour track temp of 32, 33 degrees. So, no, definitely these PC boys are on it tonight. Nice and hot. It's actually good to see, and you don't really see on the competition. You normally see about 55 Ferraris and a few McLarens and Audis. Looks like there's a few Ferraris in there tonight, but yeah, good to see Mercs up there. Obviously got the McLaren, Porsche, Lambo. So yeah, it's a good mix of teams. I think as I think we were expecting.
Now we've got the great man back with us, and this man needs no introduction. We have got 6 minutes left in qualifying as I introduce the man himself, the man that makes all of this possible here at Charity Month. He had some issues with his PC, our man, but we've been doing the best we can to keep his Charity Month goal of $2,000 for LifeLine mental health and suicide prevention this month on track. As I welcome the man to talk about what's happening on track, Nigerian Prince Cameron Norris. Good evening to you over there in Littlehampton.
Good evening, lads. How are we all doing? It's going to be a good night tonight. It's, we're coming off of one of our highly anticipated events of the month, the Lifeline 4 Hours of Kyalami, and as we've heard, it was an absolute blast over the course of that duration. We managed to raise a staggering $1,900. So if you're out there in the chat and you do want to make a donation, be sure to use !Lifeline, and we'll be sure to give you a shout out. But tonight, though, we're coming to the season final of the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series. These guys have been fighting it out for 6 weeks or 5 weeks now, Trev, and it's all coming down to this 1 point separating P1 and P2. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these times are going to start tumbling, but a 40.365 currently for pole position. That's bloody quick.
That's very quick. You can see they're fastest in the first sector and the second as well for Coolie Mango Sauce And last week he won the race, of course, last time out. And boy, what a fantastic result that was for him. Johnny Senekis not too far behind him, though, last time around, Prince. And it is going to be absolutely blockbuster action here tonight for the championship finale. But I've got to say, I think we've got a couple of very special prizes tonight as well, Prince, that we're giving away throughout the course of the broadcast tonight.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Moser R5 wheelbases that will be given away with special thanks to our sponsor, GamerGearDirect. So we'll be giving away the first one at the end of qualifying here, and then we'll be giving away the second and final one towards the end of the race. So I'm looking forward to it. Our drivers have been fighting it out as we've been talking for 5 weeks now to go in the running to win one of these wheelbases, lucrative wheelbases, and you know, the odds are stacking up quite nicely.
And it's going to be fantastic to see as 10 people joining us here. Hello to you, ladies and gentlemen, out there watching as Tom McDonald comes through the cheetah curb through the final corner, turn 16 and out of it again. Let's see what he can do. I think he might be up here, Prince, on his Delta time, and he has gone to P4. And you can see, though, Prince, still a massive gap there. 9 tenths from Cooley Mango there in first, down to Mr. McDonald in fourth. That lap of a 140.365 has really set the mark very high here with less than 3 minutes to go in this session. Who else have we got on a hot lap, Prince? I think we've got a few on a hot lap here at the moment.
Yeah, so I do see Mr. Emmanuel currently P9. He's got a tenth or so in him. Mr. Bab as well, likewise, he's got a few tenths. And Mr. Bob now has got 5 tenths in him. So, you know, we've got a couple of contenders here trying to creep their way up to that front door.
As we say hello to Salvagus, he says those sausage curbs are not my friend. I don't think they're anybody's friend as we come through the cheetah. Bonnet Cam, how good is this look, Bonnet Cam through the final part of the lap, turn 16, running slightly wide. Here comes Tommy Emmanuel, and he's down in 10th, he's up to 8th. Wowee, the timing screens have just caught me out there once again. Look how tight it is there from 6th down to 8th from Mr. Bub now, Herod and Emmanuel. And hello to you, Luke. Hey, Dan. Hey, Luke. Hi, Cam. Hi, Jason. Hi, Kid Byers. Great to have you with us. And Triggered Dan as well. Big shout out to you. Less than 2 minutes remaining. And let's have a look at this man, Bub, now. And tricky conditions here, 6:13 p.m. local time. As you can see now, we come through the barbecue corner. And this is going to be actually now 90 seconds remaining. Don't say that, Trev. You love a big sausage curb. And Luke getting a little bit naughty in the chat. And they're a little bit frisky with it. And nothing wrong with that, Luke. You keep providing us with your loving subscriptions. And he can talk about sausages all evening long because we are counting down. Prince, where has this qualifying session gone? We are literally 14 minutes in of a 15-minute session, which means that we have 1 minute to go.
Yeah, absolutely nothing left on that clock. So I'm interested to see if anyone's gonna top Mr. Cooley here. You know, he's even got a little bit on his delta bar currently on his lap. So we did see him almost get into the 39s in practice before the server reboot. But Mr. Senekis there, he's got about a tenth or so in him. He did lose a little bit of time up there in the line shaft. So we'll see how he goes towards the end of his lap here. But he's what he needs, 3.5 tenths.
Here we go, he needs 3.5 tenths. He's down though on this lap slightly, but I think he might... No, he's not going to get around, is he, Prince, or is he? I think he might, actually. This is going to be touch and go here to see whether he can start a lap, riding on board with our championship leader at his home race here. Wouldn't it be fitting if the South African could win in South Africa? 3, 2, 1. I think he's done it, Prince, has he? He hasn't...
Yeah, I think he only just made it. made it by 1 or 2 seconds, not even.
Let's take a look at this man coming through the cheetah, and I won't do that cheetah noise again. That was very strange and not good for the vocal cords, but we'll wait and see. We'll get to that. There's a massive announcement coming in here, Prince, for Luke, as we see Kebab has gone to 3rd position there. And who else have we got on a quick lap, Prince? I think we've got Boxall, who is 4 tenths up here, so he could jump up a couple of positions here.
Yeah, so this could be good for Mr. Boxall. So he's just got to get this final turn right. He looks like he's kept nice within track limits as well. And he'll come across the line. Does he improve though?
And forget about that, Prince, because Krusty has just followed Krusty the Clown, and he has Jesus Christ, he's followed us, but I've got to say that yes! And Dan has also just subscribed, triggered Dan, and you've got a big announcement as we finish qualifying. We might stick with the on-track stuff for a little bit here, Prince. It is Chris Cooley Mango, who's done everything he needed to in that session with a 40.2 ahead of Johnny Senekis, our championship leader. That's Kebab in 3rd.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic!
Yes! And there it is. Triggered Dan has gifted 1 sub. And Prince, it's the notifications are going off here. But you've got some news. Luke has kindly donated $50 in support of LifeLine here. And that brings us slightly closer to our goal.
Yeah, thank you so much, Luke, for the $50 donation to Lifeline, getting behind us in support of mental health and suicide prevention. That does bring our total to $1,950. So we're only $50 away from hitting our $2,000 goal here, Trev. And, you know, I think it's going to happen at some point over the course of this race. But if you're out there and you're going to make a donation, please be sure to use !Lifeline. It goes to a great cause.
It certainly does, and I've got to say that fantastic stuff. Triggered Dan the man, and boy, we're hitting all sorts of targets tonight. We've hit 23 out of 23 for the Tier 1 subs to the Kid Bias community. Fantastic stuff, and gifted a Tier 1 sub, Prince, to Princess Fiona, of course, our VIP, not just from Sunday night, our VIP here on the channel, and Lewis. Gets in there, Lewis. Thanks, guys. We love you, Kid Buyers. We love you even more. And so we need to change tyres, says Triggered Dan. And thanks, mate. Thank you, Dan. No worries, boys. Great effort running the fundraising. And it is absolutely a fantastic cause in aid of mental health and suicide prevention. Prince, we might just smash the targets off that 2,000 because we've still got an hour to go here tonight. We could well and truly punch a hole in that ceiling, is what I'm trying to say with the 2,000 target.
Yeah, quite possibly. I just want to quickly just say though, Trevor, just press escape and drive.
That is the best bit of advice you could give. I think I've done that right. I think, Prince, yep, and that's fantastic. But short formation lap here, of course, tonight, Prince, so not a lot of time for these drivers to get ready to get stuck into this one, and then we've got an hour around this circuit, which means I think we've covered about 6 or 7 hours around here, Prince, in the last few days. But what better place to finish off the season? It very much Prince has become almost like the fundraising round or the fundraising circuit, hasn't it, here on ACC in recent years?
Yeah, we tend to spend a lot of time here at Kyalami doing a lot of fundraising efforts. I think it's primarily, you know, it's such a mentally tough track, challenging as well, you know, so I feel like it's kind of fitting that we use Kyalami, such a beautiful track as well, you know, as our track of choice for our support races. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one though. We've got Mr. Cooley and Mr. Senekis, our regular South African here, on the front row of the grid. I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys tackle P1 and whether Mr. Cooley is going to run away or not.
And he's not running away at the moment, Prince, because what on earth is happening here? Is that our pole position man not getting away there at the start, or is something dodgy going on? He's coming back to the start. Is he going to make it in time here, Prince, before we get to the line? We're going to wait and see. And has he managed to get back? I think he has.
I believe so.
So nothing to worry about there. Thank goodness for that as we get ready for the championship finale. Ladies and gentlemen, we are away for the championship decider in the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series, and they sprint down into turn 1, and it's our pole position man alongside our championship elect. And they're side by side through the opening couple of corners, all very clean at the moment, nothing too untoward going on at the back. They get away cleanly. And we've got an hour of racing coming up here. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. Johnny Senekis, our championship leader, Prince, is down to 3rd position. And also on this opening lap, he's under pressure from Robbie Maddox early on.
Yeah, so it looks like he got a little bit swamped there on the start. Maybe didn't get the start that he needed, but you know he's under all sorts of pressure. So Mr. Cooley though looks like he's kind of built a gap just over a second now. So yeah, it's battles galore throughout the midfield as well. So as we see a bit of a mistake here, Trevor.
And Macbeth it was, I think, and Tommy Emmanuel, he's back on track now. I think him and Tommy Emmanuel suffered some sort of issue, but this is where it's all happening at the front, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back for the next 60 minutes here at Kyalami for the championship decider. It's Chris Cooley. I wouldn't say he's streaking away at the front, Prince, but he's built a healthy lead, and we're not even through the opening lap.
Yeah, building a nice healthy lead. The Aston seems to be quite good around here. Wilco might have a little bit more knowledge about that than what I do, but I don't know. We've got some Ferraris that are, we know were quite quick here on Sunday, looking to maybe make some moves on Mr. Cooley.
Let's have a look. So Cooley, a mango sauce at the top, 147.340. Only the first lap, of course, and it's Mr. Bab. Oh, Johnny Senekis. Look at this, Prince, down the inside. Is he going to get that done? He almost looked like he had a nose in front there, but he slots in behind Kebab. And this is going to get very spicy leading up to the barbecue here. Is he going to get on the inside? He almost does. But he's thinking of the championship there, Jason Wilkinson, who's with us here, giving us multiple champion, of course, in the sim racing world. Where can he get by here? And you can see here, Wilco, is he thinking about the championship here as well, as he looks to make a move on Kebab?
Yeah, well, that's one thing we saw on Sunday, that Audi, absolutely insane. So he's going to just hope to sit behind here and just hope that he can get a good exit onto the front straight, and that should yeah, so we'll see. I was going to cough and sorry.
That's okay, as we see. Thank you, Wilco. We'll get back to you. And Wilco, George Kravitz, or Jason, George. I'm starting to call him George, actually. not Lenny Kravitz. And there we have it. And I think a note got passed on to your side of the commentary. Oh, it certainly did. As we get back to the TV camera, you can see our championship leader under pressure here. And he's into the pits. Oh, well, this is very interesting. He is into the pits within the opening couple of minutes, JW. That is very surprising in terms of strategy.
Yeah, well, it's obviously things he's getting held up, and this guy's a championship leader. So I think he knows what he's doing more than me and you, Trev. So, yeah, interesting. The tyre wear on PS5 on Sunday night was, quite high, but if you had a pretty stable setup, your lap times didn't drop off as much. So I think our strength, although there was very little strength in the McLaren today, our strength was our tyre wear, so we were quite good on our tyres. So we sort of had that constant pace the whole way through our stint, hour and 10 or whatever it was. So, the Audi, we saw the Audi on Sunday night again with Matt and Sidog. They were just, they won by 99 seconds or something. So that Audi's got some pace, he's got some pace. So I guess we have to watch those lap times when he comes out and see if he goes too hard too early. But if I was these guys here at the front, I would be trying to go as late as I can. Try and get those fresh tyres. What's got to go there?
And we've got a moment here, Wilco. Sorry to cut across you. It looks like Peter Viney and Dan Siciliano. Let's just have a look at what's happened here, Wilco. Sorry to cut across like I mentioned. Let's have a look We've got Cisolano and Viney here getting very close. Wilco, what's happened there? He's tried to put a nose down the inside, and it's ended in tears.
Yes. So from experience on Sunday, that McLaren is very quick in the middle. It is rapid, so it's you can actually catch yourself out with how much quicker you are, especially through turn 5 there, Sunset or whatever the name of it. But the only bad thing is just because it's so slow on the straight, the only places you can pass through in that little sector. So, you know, talking back to Sunday, I had a couple goes at trying to get someone up at the top of the hill there at the hairpin. It's the only place we were actually faster. Yeah, those boys in McLarens, I'm feeling for you.
It's a tough one as Robbie Maddox is into the pits and then out again. Johnny Senecas down to 16th. It's going to be interesting to see. I think there's a 1 litre minimum requirement there in the pit.
Yeah, so so I didn't know the pit stop rules. So that explains the early pit. So it's not everyone's going to be on the same time, matter of just getting rare. So you know that sort of strategy game of pitting over halfway, like there's no need to do that anymore. It doesn't really matter. It's just pit whenever you want, do your 1 litre splash and dash, and then just get back out on the racetrack. So it's about clean air. That's why the championship leader pitted that two there, so just to get some clear air.
And that is the voice of a multiple KRL champion there, and Jason Wilkinson has been good enough to join us here in the commentary box for the season finale here of the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series on ACC for PC. Beaky has tuned in. Let's hope we're on the big screen again. Beaky, I think Wilco, we were all over the lounge room TV on Friday and Sunday night. Beaky down there in Afghanistan,
Karingal?
But Karingal,
not Frankston.
not
I'll
Afghanistan.
correct him, Beaky, don't worry.
Not Afghanistan either, Beaky. It's not quite that dusty down there at Frankston. But thank you for joining us. Interesting place.
Can I,
Go ahead.
Sorry, can I just request, can we get on board of this McLaren in track, or is that out of the questions here?
That is certainly well within the realms of possibility. But before we do that, I had a note passed to me a couple of minutes ago, in fact, and Voodoo just saying, what did that note say? Well, I can tell you what it said. It is our first winner, that's right, of the Moser R5 wheelbase, and that is Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald stepped right up, and he's in 3rd position at the moment under all sorts of pressure from Tommy Emmanuel, who is well down the field, of course, after his incident a little bit earlier on. But he is the winner. And I tell you what we might do, Wilco, we might kill 2 birds with 1 stone here and go on board. Wow, that's a very big head there in that car, but we might just go on to this one, because here is our winner of the Moser R5 wheelbase, and we're riding on board, and this gives you a great idea of some of the challenges of this Kyalami circuit, JW.
Yes, it's good to see. I mean, if I just want a brand new wheelbase, I'd have a big head too. He's all good for that, but Tommy McDonald, he's going to have his a big game next Thursday night against the Pies at the MCG. Hopefully, do a good race tonight, and then he can go off the MCG. But I'll be taking through all that with Kyalami here, so I've got a little bit of delays. I'll try and get this as good as I can. So pretty much making it the 100-metre board here for turn 1 to get on a break and try and hook in, just nick the inside curb. And again, I'm going to have to wait and see if this is how it works, because I'm not this hole, unfortunately. He's missed the inside curb, that's fine. You can carry that speed around, up through the next few corners. Just trying to keep that rear from sliding out. It's quite easy to lose back in here. Now coming to my favourite corner of the track, it is absolutely insane. Just tap the brakes, flicker in, and just sort of play with that throttle, and then just let the car just right out to the outside of the curve here. Get the car back to the right, then hook it into the left again, not taking too much curve on the inside. And then you've got this little fun left-right sort of quick chicane here, Trevor's downhill. It's very easy to lose rear against a rear limited track at this one, so be really careful to not slide the tyres around as much, and then bang up into the hairpin. This is where I made a mistake on Sunday night, last few minutes of the race. Try and get it stopped, and then try and straight line the X's best you can to get that traction all the way down that hill to carry that speed. And then you got to stay to the far left of the track, try and brake as in a straighter line as you can. Turn it in again, more rear limited here. You don't want to turn in too much, you're going to lose the right, or lose the rear end, sorry. And then, yeah, this is the trickiest corner on the track here. Flick it through, last corner, second last corner. Watch the inside curb, down into the last corner. Make sure you maximise that entry, and then get the exit nice and smooth out onto the front straight for another lap of Kyalami.
There we have it, ladies.
Someone that qualified 12, hey?
No, 12th comes right after 11th. And if you take a 1 off 11, you get pole position. But that is an interesting way to put it. But there we have it. Beaky says, there he is, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend, Jason Wilkinson. Congratulations to Mr. McDonald on winning the first wheelbase giveaway with thanks to GamerGearDirect. We'll be in contact with you very, very shortly. Very, very soon. Thanks, Wilco. Beaky saying that you're making him blush. Oh, wow, that's a little bit wide there. He used all of the track and then some. But we're 12 minutes into this race, and boy, at the front, Nigerian Prince, I've got to say at the front, Chris Cooley, 6.4 seconds ahead of Kebab in P2. 6 laps in, the gap is 6 seconds, and he's currently setting times that are just unbelievable qualifying times almost around here. He is dominating so far.
Yeah, he's very, very impressive at the moment. His best lap is a 41.187, and his closest competitor is Mr. Bab with a 41.55. So, you know, he's definitely been setting the pace, and his best lap was his last lap. So this gap, though, or 7.5 seconds almost, the Aston just relentless around here, Trev, just absolutely dominating.
And big hello as Beaky says, what a brilliant giveaway that is. And look who's jumped into the chat, Jason Wilkinson, my Bingaling, a teammate of yours. And a good friend of ours. A little bit late to the Twitch following side of things, but that's okay. You've joined the family. You were part of the family, of course, before that, but that's how you pull it up at the hairpin, Wilco. LOL. Hey, boys, hopefully some big money again tonight. And Prince, speaking of big money, what are we up to, please, in terms of our target for tonight?
So we've currently raised a very impressive $1,950 for LifeLine. If you do want to make a donation, !Lifeline, because we do have a goal of $2,000. I just want to quickly remind you as well, this is our 3rd year, an annual charity month, where we get behind the cause of mental health and suicide prevention. And I just want to say that we've raised a staggering $7,405 for mental health. That's crazy in 3 years.
3 years. Oh, and Boxall having a moment on the straight, damaging the back of that Ferrari. I think he's going to spin it around again.
That rear limited thing I was talking about.
Yep.
It's very easy to spin it there.
Spot on, and that's the place to spin it. I think he's back going again. He's going to be under pressure from Craig Bradley, who's there behind him. And
Click that name around, Trev. We've got one of our friends.
and, yeah, that's an inside one, isn't it? But that's very, very funny, and it's very funny actually. Chris Bradley, of course. I think Craig Bradley's famous Carlton Premiership player.
Doesn't make sense.
But so there he is on his merry way. And hey Cam, hope you're well. Better than braking early at the last quarter and getting your gearbox touched up. Well, we don't want to see anybody touched up around here, because that's all been quite clean for the time being. And love how this community comes together for a great cause. They're the messages, Beaky, that make it worthwhile. But 15 minutes, almost 15 minutes into this race, and this man, Jason Wilkinson, is 7.8 seconds ahead of Michael Kebab in P2, and last time around he's roughly 0.5 of a second quicker than the man in P2. Last time around, last lap for Cooley Mango was a 41.6 compared to Kebab's 42.1. And can you explain, Wilco, how crazy this sort of pace is? And can he keep it up for the next 45 minutes?
No, I can't because I cannot get that pace on the PS5. So no. It's yeah. I'm just looking at I've got some bit of info here from that we used on Sunday. So the pit stop time loss. If I'm reading here, for 1 litre of fuel, 25 seconds. So I think the actual transit time might be a bit longer than that. So
yeah,
I think it's 25 seconds in and it wouldn't be 25 seconds in and out. It's a bit long. So that might be a bit of bad. Maybe that explains why we finished 6th. I guess we had the wrong pit stop information.
So, just from my statistics and data on my end, I can say that our fastest pit stop time is 29 seconds with a total time stop of 5 seconds for 1 litre of fuel.
Yeah. So that's that is. How good was that move around the outside? I know it's left.
Oh,
Or is it not left car, sorry?
Contact, is that Viney, I think, and Buznetsky of the Russian. And let's have a look at Viney now. We'll just get an instant replay of that, I think, at some point. We can have a look here. And contact. And what happened there, Prince? Just a bit of contact between the two.
Yeah, just looks like just got a little bit loose. That's a bit of a weird one though, Trev. A little bit of a weird one there.
Just got caught, almost looked like he got caught on the side of that car, and next thing you knew, he was into the wall. Cooley has cleared out his belongings and he's boxed them all up, and he's called the storage mob, and he is out in front, says Beaky. He's cleared out and he's going home. He's got his bags packed, Wilco. He's got his aeroplane tickets. Now he just needs to send that car back to its home, and hopefully it's not too good for its home.
Exactly right, bit of Happy Gilmore there, but yeah, maybe we might see it on board. See how is he? Oh, we're about to start one lap. So is he pushing hard? Is he just being nice and smooth? That not too much. It's quite a stable car. It's obviously very good in the wet. So let's just see how he sort of steering inputs here, and let's just see what he's getting up to for a lap around car.
Let's see. Let's see what he's doing.
Yeah,
you can
very
see
smooth.
the master at work. Very smooth. Not over the top with the wheel movements. So Wilco looking very nice and smooth here so far as we come through turn 5. He's looking good.
Yeah, no, definitely nice and smooth. That's where you're getting your pace from. As I was saying, it's a very rear limited track. Sliding, so you go. So some other tracks you can get a little bit of sliding, you get on that real limit, but this track it doesn't really, because it's just too easy, because a lot of off camber corners and corners going down hills and up hills, and it's just very easy to sort of have those little the bigger slot, which obviously means you're losing so much time. So it looks like he's sort of cruising here. Obviously he's pushing hard, but the trick with being so fast is pushing hard but just making it look very smooth and just looking like a Sunday drive. That's when you're absolutely in the zone, Trev.
As we ride on board here through the last few corners, I think it was Sterling Moss who said you've got to try and win the race in the slowest possible time. I think it was the quote from Sterling Moss, probably the best driver to not win a Formula 1 championship. He missed out a couple of times. There was a guy called.
Try driving faster then.
It's a bit like at the start of this season, I think, Wilco, when Christian Horner was asked the question, what does Sergio Perez need to change to get up there with Max Verstappen? And his answer was his lap time.
It's a start.
What are the things that he needs to change? Oh, his lap time, and yeah, that's always helpful. But less than 41 minutes remaining in this race. As I nearly lose my voice once again, it's been a big few hours this couple of weeks trying to get back in. Game sound has been turned way down. By the way, thank you, Salragas. Cooley says Beaky, and put but 3 laps down, thanks PC, and haven't smoked a lot today of that famous South Australian broccoli, but I've got to say that 9.9 seconds, my goodness gracious me.
I was just about to say, we got a nice little battle here, so we jump onto P7 in 80. behind. So these two were the ones that sort of they weren't the ones. Let's maybe get a nice rear wing angle here from the Porsche there, Trevor. I reckon that could be a nice little segue to see how and where the Mercedes is faster and where the Porsche is faster. Obviously, the Mercedes running off the track there was not going to be fast, but let's just have a look and see. So normally the Porsche is obviously very good, and Mercedes got all that torque and all that grunt just to pull up the hill and pull on straight. So let's just watch this battle for the next few half a lap or so. Let's just see where this Porsche pulls away and where the Mercedes catches up.
And this is the closest battle on track at the moment. We do believe there might be another one down the field, but you can see there the Mercedes closing in as we go through the Crocodile and now heading towards the Cheetah. This is going to be a good view, Wilco, to see the curbs and how deadly they are here. And, well, that's the end of that battle because the Mercedes of Matthew Herod is jumping into the pits. So that's going to leave Scarney to go about his business in P6, Wilco.
Yeah, thanks for that, Heron. We pumped up a nice little battle here, and then you pull into the pits. So that's all good. But yeah, just speaking about that, about the Cheetah, it is when you're behind a car, especially if you're behind the BMW, which there is no BMW tonight, thank God, but you genuinely can't see the inside of that curb. So, and even in the Audi, that's a little bit hard to sort of see. It's just when you're right behind a car, the way the sort of corner it sort of goes, you sort of running up to it, you sort of run a bit left and then you flick it right. It means if you're right behind, you actually can't see that corner. So you've got to just trust that car ahead is not going to drive over the curve themselves because you're going to follow them, or not going to miss the apex because you're going to follow them. It's very, very tricky through that second last corner there. But we've got Old McDonald had a farm here. He's up to, he's dropped to P4, so let's see if he can get the position back here with another Mercedes up in front here.
Well, let's have a look. He's right behind the Russian Kryatko, and great work there from the Russian, up in third position. And Old McDonald had a farm, Wilco, and on that farm he had a Moser R5 wheel pace because he is our winner for the first of two of those. Tom McDonald, not to be confused with Tom McDonald playing for the Melbourne Football Club, who will unfortunately lose during the first qualifying final. And if they win the second one, they'll be up to Brisbane. And let's hope they lose that one as well. But no, McDonald, Old McDonald, EIEIO, is less than a second behind the Russian. And we're going to have to start getting our calculators out. We're going to have to start pulling out our calculators very, very shortly. I did say calculators, Jason Wilkinson, but I've got to say this championship battle, the points, we saw them coming into tonight. And we're going to have to wait and see because it's a different scoring system for these endurance rounds, isn't it, Wilco? So it's going to be confusing. We're going to have to try and crunch some numbers here to see where things are in terms of the championship.
Yeah, and plus when you've got people that haven't pitted yet and other people that haven't pitted, it sort of makes it a bit confusing. So hopefully everyone's going to sort of pit in the next 15 or so minutes. Obviously there's no pit window, and because it's only 1 litre, you could get to the minutes stop. So it's yeah, going to be interesting to see. Hopefully everyone pits, with about 15-20 goes, start working it out where John's going to be, where's all these other boys going to sort of pop out, and what that's going to do for the championship at the end of the race.
And we can see there, we saw the championship boards. Johnny Sinekis is our championship leader. This man is down in 7th at the moment. Will that be enough for him? We'll wait to see. As Wilco said, 128 points for a win, 124 for second, and it goes down in fours all the way down to 4 points for 30. If you can, we don't even have 32 here, but PS5 only, says Wilco there. I think that might be Luke Wilco checking in to see if
Rose
he can still use a PS4.
Yes, Rose Racing. So season 1 up. Good times. I remember Luke. Very nice, clean driver. He went to the dark side like everyone else in these days with the PC, and hasn't been seen since. Trev. I'll try English next time.
And that is okay. Shishi Ni and Voodoo with another announcement. The Sunday giveaway. Just recapping. Wilco and Nigerian Prince. Congratulations again to our three $100 gift voucher winners there, with thanks to our sponsor Sim Rigs, and you can see them simrigs.com there. Our sponsors, we were pleased to announce that Vert Wheeler, FIGO and Sideways Polka were the winners of those $100 gift vouchers there, as Pyridonite P2 and 3 not racing. So at the moment, Johnny has got this sewn up, and just like Johnny Rambo going through the jungles of Vietnam, there is nobody about to take it away from him here tonight.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, let's see if Voodoo's up and about. He might be able to sort of commentate a PC style lap, so see what he's up to. Maybe not, might be another good time to jump on board with Johnny here and see again where the difference is in the Audi around here.
Let's have
so
a look.
How much does he have to wrestle it in the move, or is he going to be sort of pushing hard to make up some time?
Well, we're gonna have a look here. Nigerian Prince, over to you, another multiple champion with us here tonight.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I did see during practice, before I rebooted the server, I did see Mr. Sneakers get very, very sideways and somehow managed to save it during, I believe, the crocodile corner with the curve. So, yeah, the Audi seems to be wrestling it quite a bit sometimes.
As we can see here through this very difficult part of the circuit, and right up to the barbecue corner at turn 5, and currently Binger just saying, he does mate, always riding my coattails. And are you following Pyridonite? If you are not following, please hit that follow button. We'd love to have you along. $1,950 for LifeLine in mental health and suicide prevention here, ladies and gentlemen. Please continue to donate $50 away from our $2,000 goal, and we are getting very, very close to it indeed. And you're already following. Good man, great stuff. And to all the other 10 people, if you're out there following, or your grandmother's not following, just tap her on the shoulder and get her to set up an account and take her through it. Hopefully it's a little bit easier than trying to talk to my dad about changing HDMI input sources. Boy, that's a challenge, isn't it, trying to get them to switch over to HDMI 1. But we're riding on board with this man coming up to the cheetah curbs, Jason Wilkinson. You can see those big sausages are not what you want to be having for breakfast around here going through turn 15.
Nah, definitely not. It's as I said, you hit that and your car's turned into a pogo stick and you're heading to that outside pretty quickly. So luckily I don't think there's many people that actually had that issue on Sunday night. Maybe only a couple, which is, you know, for 130 something laps and 25 different cars. But here's the battle I want to see. What you watch this, it's going to be all over him like a cheap suit here, because that's where the McLaren strength, these change directions here. So let's see what happens here.
So less than 32 minutes remaining, almost at half race distance. Looked like Mr. Conboy got a little bit twitchy with it, and as our man just saying, the McLaren has the strength here. No doubt about that.
As I said, I drove the McLaren the 4-hour race on. Yeah, the only strength it has is about 3 corners in that sector. The rest is shocking. Yeah.
As we continue this battle, and
yes.
To be strong for 3 corners, Wilco, on a 16-corner circuit is not the most ideal arrangement, but 7:05 local time. And I think that sun might be just dipping below the horizon, Wilco. You can see the lights, the headlights starting to take effect as we're coming up to the final corner, turn 16. And it looks like Mr. Conboy has a decent run out of here. Can he pick up a toe, Wilco, and potentially get himself into a good position? No, he can't, because that
McLaren.
Because he's driving a McLaren, of course, and this isn't one of its favourite corners.
Look at that! Look at him pull away! Look at him pull away on the straight. That's what you got to do with him driving the McLaren. So luckily, the McLaren strength is obviously fast corners. So for the endurance series, we got Suzuka. Spa. What's it called? Silverstone. That's the track. And Suzuka, the last 2 tracks we race at. So McLaren should be a little bit faster there, but yeah, I feel for these boys in the McLarens. It's a tough ride around here.
And let's have a look. Well, here's a perfect example, Wilco, because I think we've got Mr. Glow in 11th in a McLaren.
Watch this smirk. Watch the closing speed by the end of the straight here.
Here we go.
No, you got a bad exit.
It's like, well, we might ride on board with this one. It's like sort of having a DRS or something, isn't it, Wilco? Or just having extra horsepower.
GP2 engine. GP2.
And there we have it. He comes around the corner. You can see. We'll wait till we get to a straight. And Macca is the old Porsche, says Luke. As Herod now, McLaren's strength here is knowing it's consistently average. Matterford's joined us.
I was going to say, that's another KRO royalty there. Matty, how you going, mate? Just for context, last time I raced Matterford was at Imola in a Porsche Cup race, and he lost the lead on the last lap.
It's a bit like the Carlton meme, isn't it? Don't let that distract you from the fact that that Matterford blew a lead on the last lap at Imola. And
just for giving him all this shit over the years, I'm just going to quickly do something for him, and we'll call it even, Matty.
All right, great stuff. And, well, speaking of McLaren's not being that flash, oh, hello, he's catching up a little bit there, but where else have we got some battles happening? We'll keep an eye further afield. 2 years ago, he says. 2 years ago, and Jason Wilkinson has come up trumps, and I think you might have gone to back to the top of the gifted subs leaderboard there, Wilco, so strategic and also good for Matterford as well.
Yeah, sorry, Voodoo, but as competitive I am, I always need to be first.
And to be first in the gifted sub department, you must keep... Oh! We're smashing the total.
Don't start it.
He's gifting the subs. Look out. It is on.
Don't start where you can't finish.
Don't start. Check the microphone volume, please. The microphone volume. And he's gifted a tier 1 sub to Sinister Trash. And you can see there it is all happening at the moment. Luke, I see you're on 5. And, if you don't mind. But less than 28 minutes remaining in this race. And whereabouts are we looking at? We've got Cooley Mango. This man up the front. Is he getting bored? Oh! And Voodoo has come up trumps with the gifted, with the sub as well. And he says, put that in your pipe and smoke a bit of South Australian broccoli, because bang! And Pirate and Night has come in there and joining the party. 14 people, Prince, watching us. And we've currently raised an impressive...
Suck my balls.
Suck my balls. Suck my balls, honey. And we've raised an impressive $1,950. It just doesn't look right though, does it, Nigerian Prince? Because we're still $50 away.
Yeah, still $50 to go. So if there's anybody out there that would like to make a donation to LifeLine, please be sure to use !LifeLine, because we're only $50 away from hitting our $2,000 goal.
We're only 0.3 of a second away from seeing this man Glow go down the inside of Boxel, who hasn't, boy, has he been in the wars tonight. And Luke is gifting the tier 1 sub to the Kid Buyers community, and he's up there in a solid 3rd position at the moment. But like the Matildas in the FIFA World Cup, who gives a shit about 3rd? Oh, down the inside goes M-Glow, but he can't quite get a move done. And we've got a Russian with a 30-second time penalty, it seems. I think that might be the Russian there with a time penalty. That is very, very tragic for his race, as Luke gifting a sub to Team Little Bear. Fantastic stuff. And all thanks, of course, here tonight with thanks to LifeLine supporting mental health and suicide prevention. Beaky says, nice, Voodoo. If anyone wants to gift a sub, right here, baby, says Voodoo. But Pryatko, the Russian, what is stop-go penalty in Russian, please, Prince? Because that is going to cause all sorts of dramas for the rest of his race.
Yeah, so unfortunately he must have sped in or out of pit lane, or possibly even track limits to receive a stop-go there.
And there we have it. And Wilco gifting a sub to Beaky. Wowee, and can somebody update that goal there to 30, because we have smashed the subs last Friday night, Sunday, and also now on Tuesday. Absolutely getting smashed, and Boxall now inside the top 10, but for how long here, Jason Wilkinson? Because you can see he's got a McLaren right behind him here, does Boxall, but he's in a Ferrari and Glow's in a McLaren, so let's just see what happens here on the main straight.
Yeah, so, as I said, even if the McLaren gets a good exit, that Ferrari's just away, and the Ferrari isn't the car in a straight line. So it just, yeah, shows the real weakness of the McLaren here. So I just like talking about how bad the McLaren makes the P6 I got on Sunday night with my team. Actually, too bad after all, even though we had another McLaren get P4. Anyway.
Fantastic! And Bochesko has now followed the channel, but that is unbelievable. Thank you, Bochesko. Bochesko is part of the community, but guess what? Guess what, Nigerian Prince? We've got an announcement to make. Good gracious Jesus, Mary and Joseph, please announce what we've got to announce here tonight.
I can't believe we're actually going to be saying this, Trev, but thank you guys so much for your continued support over the duration of the month. Even before the month, everybody that's gotten involved behind the cause of mental health for our 3rd year running, we've raised an impressive $2,000 for LifeLine. So everybody, it's not just about us. Take a moment to pat yourself on the back, and you know, we greatly appreciate it. I can't say thank you enough.
And that's trying to pat myself.
I didn't even know what you were doing.
I feel like this is the moment when he'd like commentate it, you know, and your hands are above the desk.
I was just saying, I didn't know if you were breaking down, like, you were very emotional.
Well,
You were very happy about something, I don't know.
I'm very happy with the goal that has been reached. And Cooley has got a casual 20-second lead, 20 seconds after 21 laps. But no, that wasn't me just having any sort of coronary sort of issues or anything, because that is me patting myself on the back. We've hit that goal, Prince. And that, who needs a graphics card? Because what a incredible achievement, what a great feat to get there here in Charity Month. And that was a car that was facing the wrong way there, just after the barbecue. And Luke telling me not to choke up. And it didn't sound like a back tap, Trev, says my Bingerling. Congratulations to all, especially Voodoo. Great work, mate. And is that the Russian? Is that Pryadko? I think we've got, or is it Bradley? I'm not too sure. Was that the Russian facing the wrong way? We'll have a quick look on the replay here as he comes around to complete the lap. We'll wait and see what happens here. It doesn't look too bad.
Different part of the track. We saw him at the barbecue, so...
And I think my... I might have got the wrong Russian.
Camera's up the shizer.
I might have got the wrong Russian.
That's the replay of how to do the last 2 corners at Kyle.
That's a replay there of how to take the last 2 corners. 3, 2, 1. We're going to head back live to the action.
It's almost like a replay of not how to do a replay.
Oh, and now he's off. Now he's off.
Oh, jeez.
We don't need a replay of that.
Do we call that? Is that one of the worst commentator curses of all?
Wait,
how did he?
We come back live. We watched.
Oh, gee whiz, that was.
Well,
tighter tthan a nun's backside there.
We watched a replay of Pryadko. We watched a replay. We watched a replay of the Russian taking those corners perfectly, and then we got back live, and that's when he decided to bottle it. But he's back facing in the right direction now, and down in P16. We've still got this battle continuing. It's heating up. Nigerian Prince heading through the barbecue and down to the flowing corners. The S's turns 8, 9 and 10 down to the hairpin. This is getting tight here.
Yeah, so this is getting pretty tense between Mr. Glow and Mr. Boxall here. So Boxall still needs to come into pit lane, so I'm sure we might see him come in on this lap, maybe get out of the way of Matt Glow here. Just, you know, it's a battle he doesn't really, I guess, need to be involved in, but it is a good one for us to be watching.
Certainly is, and great effort, Cam, Trev and Wilco. Thank you for that, Luke. You are absolutely fantastic, and you can be my hero, baby. Being a king, amazing work, Voodoo, and just leaving out Trev and Wilco there, but that's okay, Binger, because you're following the channel. And check out the KRL logo thing he's got next to his name. That is fantastic as well. And Bochesco, the Pavarotti, saying McLaren is coming on Ferrari. It's so close. He can feel it coming on, Bochesco. Like good, fine wine. You can just wait to smell the bottle opening up. And that's if you are Italian, but he's still not quite there, is he, Wilco? He doesn't seem to be able to make that next step and get past him here on this occasion.
Yeah, Mr. Glow might be a little bit annoyed here. He's sort of holding me up here, so it's part of the racing. He doesn't have to get away the position. Although by the time he actually pits, Mr. Boxall might be, further down the field. But yeah, as I said many times tonight, I feel in the McLaren. So you're going to see, especially on this angle, you're going to do these next 3-4 corners, and then Boxall's just going to drive off on the straight and rinse and repeat. That's pretty much all it is around here in the McLaren.
It certainly is, and we will not stop until we've basically defamed the entire McLaren. Yeah. We've only got 20 minutes remaining, ladies and gentlemen, and what else can we say about the McLaren? I can tell you what, we'll be hanging shit on them for the rest of the race. But let's have a look now, just recapping, if you're just joining us, and it is this man leading, and he's here for the memes. This man, we still haven't updated that livery. It's looking very dark on my screen. He's here for the memes. He does actually have a much more exciting livery, doesn't he, Nigerian Prince, that we haven't managed to put that into my game yet. But we're going
That explains, because the two guys in the front of the pre-race were just running the black livery, and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe they're a team or something, like, maybe they represent their black livery or something, but makes sense. PC things.
Yeah, so Mr. Cooley has got a wonderful livery that the moment I first laid eyes on it, I could not stop laughing, and I laugh even to this day. But yeah, I've just sadly, I keep saying it every week, Trevor. I'm like, yeah, I'll sort it out for you, and we're here at the final round, and I still haven't sorted it out for you, so I will sort it out for you before the next year.
That's fantastic. And
tell you what though, that matte black livery does look awesome still. Like that looks sick.
It does.
I don't think it's... here's another good livery on Herod's car then. He's just 3/10 behind M. Glow, of course, still. This is the battle we've been keeping an eye on.
There's the exhaust guy on there too. That's one cool thing about it. Look at all the exhaust on the side of the back of the cars. It's all glowing, so...
And that's...
quite sexy.
And it certainly is, and that's because we bumped the graphics right up, didn't we, Prince? The anti-analyst.
Look at you! I was just about to say that.
Not sure. Luke's redeemed the same sound
I know, as I was about to say it.
As he was about to say. There's no Catholics here. Oh, there's no Catholics here. That's very, very good. But no, we won't talk.
You can be the mod on that one.
we can talk about. We won't talk about the anti-aliasing anymore. But Voodoo. Anyway, so Herod is still behind this man. In fact, that gap looks like it's increased, and they're coming up to P. Boxall. And I've got to say, this could be a three-way battle here. Jason Wilkinson in the not-too-distant future. In fact, on this lap, if you don't mind.
Yes, it could be. Who we got here? So, yeah, Mr. Box has to come through his prediction. I'm reading down. Reading Luke's comments out. He's still going to come through for his pit stop. So he's, I mean, again, as we said, you don't have to do that to the last little couple of times. So he's going to be a nice little pain in the ass for Mr. Glow here, and just keep in front of him, which is, all within the rules. It's just yeah.
And Herod. Herod has gone off, and now he's going to be under all sorts of pressure.
That was nearly a ripper save. He almost saved that. That would have been
What
just
happened?
sort of stepped away from him.
Let's have a
It
look.
looks like I'm going to guess he just sort of carried a bit too much speed into the corner and stepped out. And that's what it looks like happened. So, you know, that can happen. Another one that's sort of very easy to do, just a little bit too deep, or even could be something as simple as just getting off the brakes too aggressively, too quickly, and it can just have that weight just go straight from the front of the nose to fucking just to everywhere. So make the car balance all over the place.
And there we have it. He's got the right number, as Luke saying, "Poor old predictable Wilco." Oh, look at you! I was hearing sort of surround sound there for that one. That was a nice view of the Kyalami night sky there too, Prince, wasn't it? I felt like we were just taking off from the airport there. We had a nice view of Kyalami, and what a beautiful place it is too.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering what was going on for a minute, but then I started to appreciate the view. It was a nice view.
That was close to turn one.
And that, for your benefit, Wilco, is Aaron Muriel, better known as Muriel's Wedding, and you can see he's in the Alpha Tauri black car there. It's a very nice livery, that Lambo, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks good again. Look at the nice exhaust on the back of it. Looks absolutely sexual. Nice sky, mate. That is picturesque there. Take a photo of that voodoo. Get a nice stars in the sky. Lamborghini with flames kicking out the back of it. Mate, I need to get a PC.
And you can see the famous saying, isn't it, that we hear a lot of farmers talk about, the clear sky at night, Senecas's delight, I think is the saying that goes around Kyalami, because our man is in fourth. And a famous South African saying there is Tommy Emmanuel. He's not fighting for position with him. But is that a famous saying, Prince, or is that just something I've made up? Because I am prone to do that. But this man looks like he has...
I thought it was going to be my famous saying of, I need to get a... Famous, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I need to get a PC and get it quickly.
Look at you go.
Look at you go. And BB knows what I'm talking about. And there he is, Shepherd's Delight. That's right, Clear Sky at Night, Senecas's Delight. I think I might have just tweaked the words a little bit there, Prince. If you believe that, you'll believe anything. But this man well and truly on his way to a championship title here in the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series, with thanks to simrigs.com. Prince, speaking of simrigs.com, I think we've got a bit of Moser wheelbase action coming up in 2 minutes. You're going to make us wait 2 minutes?
Yeah, so both R5 wheelbases are thanks to our sponsor GamerGearDirect. Simrigs were our provider of the three $100 gift vouchers that we gave away on Sunday. And, we had 3 happy and lucky winners there. So our first winner of the Moser R5 wheelbases that we gave away earlier this evening was Tom McDonald. So congratulations again. And yeah, 2 minutes, and we'll be doing the draw for the second winner.
In 2 minutes' time. Just wait. It's like waiting for tickets to the Grand Prix or something.
P8, and a good battle right now.
And P7 and P8, I do beg your pardon. I think it's a bit of Glow v Boxall again. We might get onto the back of Boxall and ride him home, as you can see, riding him home there with 500 metres to go. Boxall now, 11.5 minutes. Wilco, who have you got your money on? So let's have a look at this, and this battle showing no signs of letting up as we come through the Cheetah. Very difficult corner to get, not a difficult corner to get wrong. In fact, it's very easy to get that one wrong as we come through the final corner now. And it is almost pitch black here, 7:45 p.m. local time. This is going to go well into the Kyalami night sky here. Jason Wilkinson, this gap, and look at that, he's pulled away a bit there heading into turn 1.
Yep, so there we go, back to the old thing of the... So leader is into the pits finally, so let's see where he... it should be still probably in P1, he's that far ahead. Let's see what happens here.
Let's have a look, and that's not the man we want to look at. We want to look at this man. ladies and gentlemen. 10.5 minutes remaining in this race. 10.5 minutes remaining in this season, and I think we've got Kebab coming in. Also there from P2. And then it's a Convoy still yet to pit. We're going to wait and see what he's going to do. And this man on our screen, and this man we're looking at, Nigerian Prince, also yet to make a stop here with 10 minutes remaining.
Yeah, so it's interesting that a lot of these drivers are opting to go really late with their pit stops. So Mr. Boxall, from what I can see, and same as Mr. Convoy, haven't come into the lane yet. So a majority of drivers have roughly spent, I'd say, about 30 to 32 seconds just in transit of pit lane, and roughly about 5 or so seconds for putting the fuel in. So it's going to be interesting to see where Mr. Boxall and Mr. Convoy end up being placed once they end up coming out of pit lane.
Oh, there's a yellow flag out there, and it looks like this man who has been in the wars here, we might see what happened to this man, Dan Siciliano, in the 818 McLaren. And if there's anything good we could have said about the McLaren, Wilco, it's all gone now, because there we go. That's what a McLaren will do to you.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, he should have just gone the pure lemonade rather than the Sprite, Trev, and he would have been...
It's almost as bad as those LeBron James adverts for Sprite a couple of years back, but there we have it. He's back on his merry way. We'll get back to this battle as well, ladies and gentlemen. Nicholas Macbeth and Scarney as well doing a battle, but it seems to me that you've lived your life like a candle in the wind, and that seems to me, I was about to say, that a special note has been passed on to the commentary box here. And let's just make some...
He's unwrapping it.
I'm unwrapping
He's unfolding it.
Fucking undoing it here. And let's have a look at our second Moser R5 wheelbase rig base winner. And it is...
Drum roll.
It is Jeremy Zeri. Jeremy Zeri, step right up. You are the second winner of a Moser R5 wheelbase, and you are the last winner of that, unless they've got more of them down there in the Simbriggs shop or something, Prince. But that is it. Congratulations to both of our winners, Jerry Zeri and our who won the first one?
He was racing, wasn't he?
He was he racing? Has he disappeared?
Was he, or was it, I remember seeing his name, unless that what I saw.
No, I think
Thanks,
he's...
Mr. Simpson. My voice broke.
Thank you, but I don't think we've got Jerry Zeri there, but he is the winner. Jeremy Zeri has won the second of the two R5 wheelbases, the Moser wheelbases, and that would look good, just getting it set up before the next race, which we're not sure when that's going to be. But Tom McDonald and Jerry Zeri, our winners, and of course, just recapping our three $100 gift vouchers going to Vert Wheeler, Figo, and Sideways Polka, and on our spinning wheel with thanks to simrigs.com. And big shout out to them, Prince. Great sponsors of this series, and we couldn't do it without their support.
Yeah, absolutely. So big, massive thank you to our sponsors, Simrigs and GamerGearDirect. We wouldn't have been able to provide these lucrative prizes without you. So congratulations again to our winners on Sunday that were Vert Wheeler, Figo, and Sideways Polka. Congratulations again with thanks to GamerGearDirect for the Moser R5 wheelbases. Jeremy Zeri and Tom McDonald, congratulations.
And we haven't got Jerry Zeri with us here tonight, but we've got this man, Tom McDonald, who is sitting down there in, I shouldn't say down there in sixth place. He's done a pretty decent job as we see Boxall come into the pits. Finally here, Nigerian Prince, with less than 6 minutes remaining.
Yeah, so finally come into pit lane. So he'll lose roughly with what, say about 35-ish seconds here. So it's going to be interesting to see where it ends up putting him. But That's not what you want to see.
And there's, we saw that live actually heading into turn 1. Let's have a look what happened here as Muriel's wedding down the inside, and it doesn't work out. Wilco on that occasion, he makes contact with Herod, and that is all she wrote. As that is a very beautiful view there of the cars.
I do love the view.
Should we just stay? Should we just stay on this view? Beaky, let us know what you think. And you can see beautiful lights as far as the eye can see. And you can see all of...
Oh, sorry, I'm in the chopper, Trev.
Yeah, what's it like up there, Wilco, son? Yeah.
Tell us, Wilco.
Yeah, it's a bit bloody cold, but it's not bad. Back to you.
And, yeah, that chopper didn't sound too flash, but less than 5 minutes. Oh, dearie me. And let's push right on there, because look at that Kyalami there. The whole of South Africa is right in front of us, and you can see the...
Where's John's house? Is that just to the left there?
You can see, yeah, he says, "Hi boys, that's my place on the left there, the multi-story condo there on the left, and that's Hansi Cronje's place on the right. Kevin Peterson's a bit further down, Hashim Amla's down the road, and all of the South Africans." As we might to go back to the on-track action, because here's a guy who loves to get a little bit frisky at times, and that is Pryadko, the Russian, who's had another spin, and Nigerian Prince, that is not unfamiliar territory for our Russian friend tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah, our Russian friend sounds a little bit South African, but unfortunately, yeah, he's had a couple of mistakes around here tonight, and likewise, a lot of other drivers have had mistakes too. So I think it just comes with the territory and the nature of this track. You know, Wilco, you know, I don't think made many mistakes on Sunday, but you know, I'm sure he made a lot of mistakes during practice, because it's just one of those tracks. It's tough.
I made mistakes Sunday, don't you worry about that. Didn't you see the last 5 minutes of the race? I was mowing grass.
Yeah, there were a few mowing grass on Sunday, but we've got to say that Jason, he made mistakes, and he'll have his protection as usual, and that's the way it goes. But Pyridonite says, "I don't hold grudges. A grudge is somewhere you parked your car." And he says, "Add to the South African accent." And then Bicky says, "Come visit Wilco, not far from the Downs." And your shout says, Wilco, back to Beaky, who's got us rocking on the 78-inch plasma 8K diamond screen cut LCD, you name it, ultraviolet 8K, sharp as a tack down there in Frankganistan. Here's Karingal, and which...
I'm the Autobot for you every time you call.
And
Braxton, I come on with the buzz and bzz.
And big coverage for the coaches. It gets darker. That big Coach Dave Academy sign there, Prince, is just lighting up the South African sky there. But we have raised a very impressive $2,000 for LifeLine so far. Thanks so much for your support coming into this charity month, Prince. Could you have ever dreamed of anything like this?
Honestly, I don't think I could have. You know, my computer deciding to take a holiday 10 days in, you know, definitely threw a spanner in the works. But everyone's come out of the woodwork for such a great cause, and you know, like we've said so many times, we can't thank you all enough. But you know, we're getting into that final minute and a half of the race now, Trev, and you know, some of these battles are going to start heating up soon. I do see we've got some nice battles between Mr. Scarney and Macbeth for P10 and 11, and that seems to be the closest battle as we see on track.
And we might get a look at Scarney's rear wing here, I think, as when we get a chance. This is going to make for some interesting viewing, I reckon, here, folks, as we take a look at the back of the Porsche. The 195 Porsche. Big hello to every 12 people watching, every 12th person, all 12 people, gee whiz. It's been a big few days, but yeah, coming out of the woodwork, as you can see, going back into the woodwork, there was Macbeth. Very close here. Is he going to have one more chance? I think he is, Prince, to try and get inside the top 10 before we finish this race here tonight.
Yeah, so I've just riding on board with Mr. Cooley now. He's coming into where Crocodile is, so almost
It'll be another lap, I
coming
reckon.
towards the final. Well, it'll be final lap now, so he's got 20 seconds, and he's just
Oh,
about to
touch and
come
go.
Oh.
You
past
probably
pit
should just
lane.
roll off though. Should roll.
Yeah. Oh no, he won't do that. He's a man on a mission. You know, he's just come
Here
onto
we come.
home straight now. So we will get one more lap. But his last lap around was a 42 lap.
Well, I think he might have tried, Wilco. He didn't quite
Yeah.
succeed. As, you think, well, it's a lot easier from up here in the commentary box.
Luckily, he's 16 laps ahead, so it doesn't matter.
It's a lot easier up here in the commentary box, Wilco, but I think he just needed to, he could have really eased off, couldn't he, through the last couple of corners there to not even bother about this last lap.
Yeah, that's just him in the zone, really. He's just cruising up. He got through the last corner, and looked up, and think, slow down here. But that's all right. Another lap won't hurt. The only time that doing this extra lap hurts is when other guys are running low on fuel, and you cop an abusive message after saying you could have finished that race about a minute and a half earlier. So hopefully all the boys got their fuel sorted, and it'll be all good. Finish off here, which gives everyone who is having a nice close battle an extra lap. So Macbeth, he's got another lap now to try and get into the top 10, which is going to be quite crucial for him.
Well, we'll stick with our race leader down to the hairpin for the final time. And he can put some quick ballast and restrictions on him to slow him down a bit, says the Prince. Beaky says, the way you're going, Trev, I'll be watching at the drive-in, which they've got in Kooringal. The TV keeps getting bigger and bigger as the night goes on. If only that was the case for a few other different things, it would be a much more entertaining life. But this man has absolutely dominated proceedings here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming through the Crocodile for the final time, through the final turn 16. He comes out. The black car is going to win here tonight, and he's done an awfully good job. He has not put a foot wrong across the line. He is our winner for tonight. And this man will take the... He might not take the win, Prince.
He hasn't crossed the line yet.
That's all right. He's got plenty of time. Now he's finished the race. As let's have a look. He comes across the line. Champion. There you have it. Johnny Senekis, our champion. And he will be floating on cloud 9 here tonight in South Africa. Robbie Maddox makes the podium. Tom McDonald, the Melbourne football star. Go, go, go. Thank you, Luke, as Tom McDonald crosses the line to rapturous applause. So does Kebab. A little bit disappointing for him. And bang, there we go. Those boys can bang all they want now, as Siciliano's been doing quite a bit of that already, but got nothing against him. Just seems to spin a lot. But Glow, they're coming around the final corner. I didn't mean any disrespect there, of course, because...
That's the drive-by my trip. Dan's one of my favourites. He's just giving a drive-by on the way through.
He's done a little bit of Mazza spinning, though, you've got to say. But Herod there in 7th, finishing the race ahead of Busnetsky. And there you go, the Russian, or one of the Russians in 8th. 9th for Skani Macbeth, and Skani Muriel's wedding has crossed the line. Is there anything between them? Yeah, well, we've got Conboy in 11th, and this man Boxall in 9th, and then it's Partington Bear with his marmalade sandwiches there coming across the line in 14th, and Prayatko, who's spent a lot of time just having fun down there. Tommy Emmanuel, Todd Viney, Peter Viney, in fact, there's a Melbourne Football Club. There's a Melbourne Football Club.
Jack Viney up there, and
Jack Viney,
Tom McDonald, so
Todd
the boys are
Viney,
ready for next Thursday night.
Gary Lyon as well as Craig Bradley, Chris Bradley down there in 17th. So there we have it. And Nigerian Prince, I've just got to do something there to get back to the garage, but that is the final results here tonight, Nigerian Prince, and that would be great. Trev, says Beaky, the Misso would be happy if things got bigger. And Pirate and Unnight says 9/11, I'd like to report a murder I think that number might be 000, because in America 911 is a bit different to what we're used to. But Salragas, and I might have had a better race if I didn't have a blue screen. That is very, very interesting there for our man. I think we are waiting to get our drivers in to Discord, Nigerian Prince, and you're the man with all of the knowledge on how to do that. And gee whiz, have we got them in already? I think we do. We've got them into the post-race driver press conference already. We might start with our race winner here if we've got him, and let's just wait and see. Just trying to get in there and have a look. We certainly do. Chris Cooley, do you have us loud and clear, my friend?
Yeah, mate. Hear you guys loud and clear, thanks.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Well, mate, you absolutely put on a masterclass clinic there. I think you were going about a second a lap quicker than the rest of the field. You were on another planet. You certainly weren't in South Africa. You were on a completely other planet there, mate. Tell us how you did it tonight.
It's good. I did some warm-up down the pub with the boys. Put a 20 in the pokies, got up, got a few features, fucking that gets the adrenaline going. And I've done a bit of practice at this track,
Fantastic!
It's real good. Aston Martin is over here. It's just really sick,
And that's fantastic. Great way to end the season. With some colourful language there as well. Thank you for joining us, Chris, at the end of that race. And boy, that pace was fantastic, mate. Well done to end the season. Perfect way to end the season. And we'll catch you next time around.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much again, boys. Really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Just sounds like the kind of guy you want to have a beer with as we move along to the king of Kyalami and our champion here for the Shakedown Sim Racing GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series. Our second place man, but our first man with taking home the championship trophy, Johnny Senekis. Hello to you this evening.
Hi, mate. How you going?
Absolutely fantastic. Not as good as you though, mate, to talk us through your, not only your race tonight, but your season, mate. You are champion this time around.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's a bit of a hollow victory in the end because just been consistent results and had nothing for Chris today. He's a weapon with that Aston, and good thing that he only figured it out halfway through the season. Otherwise, it would have been a different story.
Certainly would have been just like the blown diffuser for Red Bull a few years back in 2009. But, mate, you've got to be happy overall with your season. All about consistency. It's a marathon, not a sprint, mate. How do you feel after being the champion this time around?
Well, look, mate, it's like the only reason me and Tom came back was because we got so frustrated that no one wanted to beat Matthew. So, we decided to come and give it a shot. And it was a fun championship, to be honest. It's one of the better communities out there. Nice, clean racing, and well-run events, and for a good cause. So we've had a good one. All the Kovacs boys had a good one. We had fun. So thanks again to Cam and the boys for running it.
Great stuff, mate. Congratulations. We cannot congratulate you enough. Fantastic. So they're only short seasons, mate, but you did everything you had to do and you've taken out the championship. Second place tonight as well, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, boys. Thanks for the comms as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Clean racing, that is what it's all about. Clean commentary as well as we see our man Johnny Senekis, our champion, has left the potty. And Voodoo saying cheers for the kind words, John, as we get to our third place man, Robbie Maddox. Have you got us there?
Yep, gotcha.
Loud and clear, my friend. Tell us about your race tonight, mate. We didn't see too much of you, but you managed to sneak up there and take P3 tonight and get on the podium.
Yeah, T1 lap 1 is always fun at Kyalami, but if you can keep it clean through there and keep your nose out of trouble, you generally do okay. So early pit stop, tried that again, seemed to work for me once before, so won it again, and yeah, it worked. I think Bab would have had me in the end. He was a bit quicker than me, but he had a bit of a issue with the curb, which kind of saved me and got me third.
Great stuff, mate. It really did save you in the end. Mixed Kebab not quite getting there. But overall, mate, how have you seen the season in the 6 rounds that we've had? It's been a very short season. Of course, we kicked off at Silverstone back in round 1, mate. But overall, give us your thoughts and your feelings on how the season panned out for you overall.
Yeah, it's been a great season. Like I've had my ups and downs, but overall through the season, it's been great. Great racing, clean racing, great bunch of guys to race with, great comms. Like I can't fault it.
Great stuff, mate. Congratulations. Thanks for taking the time out to join us here as well after a pretty intense race, mate. Congratulations on P3, and we'll catch you next season.
Cheers. See you guys.
Great stuff. Thank you, Robbie Maddox, Chris Cooley, and Johnny Senekis, our champion tonight. But I'm going to throw it over to you, Cameron Norris, just to give us a bit of a general wrap of the season and a bit of an update too on not only our prize winners but our overall tally for donations tonight. Not just tonight, but throughout the entirety of Charity Month, mate. How did we go in the end?
Yeah, so the GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series, we kicked off with Silverstone, and the Super Sprint doubleheader was such a good format that, I was a bit worried about the point system, but, once we started to get through the rounds, Imola, Spa, I started to see that it was keeping things nice and close. And, like we've seen coming into tonight, round 6, 1 point separating P1 and P2. So definitely left for a good hair-raising moment for the championship, but it's still nice to see the South African winner is home track. But we also do want to say thank you again to everybody who made a donation and a contribution as well to Lifeline, getting behind us for the 3rd year here for mental health and suicide prevention. We managed to raise a very impressive, a crazy $2,000. So thank you guys so much for getting behind us and getting behind such a great cause.
Great stuff, and yeah, fantastic effort from everybody tonight. Little Unit MH, hello to you. Ajax Spray and Wipe says, great commentary this season. Well done, fellas. And thanks to Vindaloo for the organisation. Little Unit MH88, goodness gracious me, folks. Crazy race disconnects as you line up. Make it very hard. Squirty Squid, hello to you. JC1, thanks, lads. Great calling all season. Skarnen Twitch, well done from Skarnen something Twitch. And that is just about how I read it there too. But well, we're almost out of time, Prince. So we're going to keep all of the announcements coming through on the Discord channels and all of the social media channels as well. Are we, in terms of announcements leading up to another series or next season and what's happening?
Yeah. So currently, the next season, if I quickly just scroll back on my notes. We're going to be doing a 4-week mini series from the 3rd of October to the 24th of October. The car and track are still to be decided for the series, but we're looking at trying to have a little bit of fun on some short tracks, I think, for this mini series coming up. But yeah, 3rd of October is what we've got lined up for Shakedown. But Wilco, I know you're still there. What do we have lined up for KRL?
Yes, good little segue there. Thank you. Nice series as well. Let me just get it up to get these dates right. So we have a season 5 for KRL starting. Obviously, this is for the PS5 side. We're going to be doing 2 nights, so back to 2 nights a week, which is awesome. Wednesday night will be Open and Thursday night will be the One Make series in the Nissan GTR. So a little bit of a throwback there for a car that doesn't get run much anymore. So yeah, we've got round 1 on 12th of October at Valencia, the new track for all us guys on the console. So it's been out for or so now, but a few of us haven't even raced. I haven't actually driven a lap there. So I'm going to Europe next week, so I'll only have like 4 days to practice. So whether I race or not is the next question, I guess. But yeah, so we've got a little 7-round series finishing at the famous Kyalami track again. So that track might be absolutely well and truly used by the end of the year, I reckon. So Yeah, no, looking forward to that. So season 5 for KRL, 11th and 12th of October. So we've got a bit of a break then, and then obviously for the endurance series, we had the race on Sunday, and the next race for that is at, as he quickly stalls, the 3rd and 5th of November, which is the 6 hours of. So that's going to be a good race, and the last race for the year is going to be 8th and 10th of December, 4 hours of Suzuka. So yeah, a few big races coming up in the. It's going to be quite exciting. So make sure you stay tuned on the KidWise Twitch channel for all of the shenanigans.
Massive lineup. Thank you, Wilco, for everything you do. Enjoy your trip to Europe. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, here, that has been a wrap for the Shakedown Sim Racing GamerGearDirect LifeLine Sprint Series. Stay tuned. In October, we've got the Shakedown mini-series, which sounds like it should be on Netflix or something. Voodoo, we might see if we can do some sort of drive.
It's actually a
Drive to Survive Shakedown thing or something.
Yeah, it's actually a 2-part mini-series. So first part is October, second part is November. So seems like we've all got everything off from October to November. So yeah, if you haven't hit that follow button,
please do so. Fantastic stuff. Thank you. I know everyone out there, thank you for your support. Everybody who's been a part of the stream, not only this stream tonight, back on Friday, Sunday, of course, for the 4 hours of Kyalami on this channel. Everybody else for everything you've done, all of the donations. It's been absolutely fantastic in support of LifeLine throughout the month of August for Charity Month. It's been absolutely fantastic. That's all we've got time for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard, plenty coming up, so stay tuned to this channel and all of our social media channels to find out what's going on. Be kind to one another. We'll see you next time around, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, it's goodbye.